Hello, I am Bjuakerdauken here to talk to you about Knights of the Old Republic 1 and 2. Today is a memories video for Bjuakerdauken Rambles, rather than a normal video, which would be me talking about a game and trying to figure out ways to improve it. I'm going to be talking about Knights of the Old Republic and good memories I had with it. I tried to make it into a why we should remake it and such, but that didn't really work out because, I don't know how to say that yet. So when I can, I'll give you guys that video. Today, though, it's memories of the first and second game. So the first game, I've only played the first game a couple of times. I've beaten it 3 times. The second game is the one that I've played more extensively. So I'm going to start with the first one since it should be the shorter section. So the first one, something I remember very specifically is that I actually messed up speccing my character. And I put everything into, I think, strength and intelligence. So my character could do the damage, but he would get killed so quickly. And I did this to all of my characters. So all of my characters died really quickly. And I didn't know how to make it so that armor was best for him. I only wanted him to have force powers because he was going to be my super force person. I remember the first time I played, I accidentally killed Juhani. So I didn't have one of my Jedi, and I was good. And I didn't have enough persuasion to persuade Bastila. So I killed Bastila too. So I had Jolee and Karth on the Starforge. So I didn't win the Starforge. Because the 2 characters I would bring out on away missions were Bastila and Jolee, because I like the 3 Jedi just basically force storming. I don't think there was actually force storm in the first game, but I could drive the 3 lightnings just everywhere, just destroying everything. The first time I played that game, though, I didn't play it very efficiently either, so I didn't get very high of levels. Next time I played it, I did a lot better. After I had played Knights of the Old Republic 2, the Sith Lords, I ended up coming back to the first one, and oh my gosh, I knew how to spec my character and everything. So, I made it so that I had a good character, and I just rammed through the game, got all the way through it, and was just like, oh, and I beat the whole entire game, and I was max level and everything, and I was like, man, playing the second one gave me so much insight into the first one, because the statistics are basically the same, it's just the combat system that's different, which is mostly why I can't play the first one anymore. The combat system's a little bit less refined than I would like, as well as the game's just a little bit too primitive for me. The second game, the first time I played that, it glitched so hard. The glitches were strong in that one. I had it so that on Peragus, I could not get up. I just laid there. I could go to objects if I was close enough to them, so I would just walk slowly towards them, but on my stomach, so I just kind of float lazily towards it. So what the best part about the Sith Lords, though, was that there were 3 Sith Lords. There was Darth Traeus, Darth Sion, and Darth Nihilus, or Nihilus, or Nihilus. I don't actually know how to say that third one. But, oh my goodness, when I got to the Harbinger, and there was just this guy who was basically just stabbed over and over, and has, like, when I was a kid, I imagined it a lot scarier than it was. I imagined that he had stab wounds all over his body and such. But that character is so cool. He just basically tortures himself and says, yeah, now your whispers aren't in my head. What of it? Darth Traeus is actually Kreia, and you know it from the beginning, but you don't know when she's gonna betray you. And, Nihilus is just this thing that should have been so much more important to the game, but it kind of shows up 3 times, and you're like, alright, I guess that's a thing. But, so you start with Peragus, which, that's the worst level in the game, let's all be honest here. It is not good after your second time. The first time, it's dark, it's creepy, it's atmospheric, but then the second time you play it, you're like, I just want to get through this so bad right now, because I know how much better the game gets. So then you get to Telos, and Telos, you're still like, I want to go to the next place, because it gets so much better. And then you go to the next place, and it is so much better. Telos, I think what they intended to do with Telos was have it as kind of the place where you would get bounties and missions and such, to make the Telos a lot more efficient. Well, one thing that was very sad before the restored content mod is you can't get another source of fuel for Telos other than the huts. And I always wanted to get that fuel source because it helps stabilize the Republic in my mind and makes it so that Telos isn't a wasteland for the next 2,000 years. But unfortunately, that was the only source available to me, so I got chastised by Goto a lot. So, what planets were my favorites? Were Duxon, for one thing, and then Nar Shaddaa. Nar Shaddaa, I felt, was so good for the time, but it could be so much better. And maybe if I ever figure out how to word that remake video, I will explain to you just in so much detail. That would have to be like an hour video of me just rambling. I don't think I'm going to make it yet. Because of that, I need to refine it down to 10 to 15 minutes because I hate talking for that long. It just seems worthless. But it makes you feel that kind of desperate, how it's supposed to make you feel. There are a bunch of refugees. Some are being sold into slavery. There are people who are veterans of some of the battles that you fought in and everything. So it's really, really just a fun place to be. There's Korriban, or Korriban, depending on who you talk to. Korriban, as I say it, has this awesome tomb that after you're like high enough for your morality, either Sith or Jedi, you can go into the tomb. And when you go there, every single character in the tomb is just kind of like, you have to choose one way or the other way. Apathy is death. And it's just so cool. It makes me so happy. Yeah, there were a lot of good memories with that game, though. Lots and lots. If I had to choose my favorite, it was probably, from both games, it was probably HK47. I don't know if all of you have played this game. The ones of you who have probably understand. HK47 sucks as a character. I kept him in my party sometimes, just because I wanted to hear what he had to say. Like, he always wants to murder everything. He always suggests ways that are more violent than they have to be, because he's obsessed with killing. And you'd think the unit that's obsessed with killing would be okay with his counterfeits being obsessed with killing in a mass quantity, but he hates it. He wants one death that causes the fall of an empire. He doesn't want a million deaths that then causes the collapse. That's a war. He's not designed for war. He's designed for assassination. And that's the best part about him. Oh, I wish I could sit here and give you quotes of HK47 all day, probably. Well, not all day. I mean, it ran out after a while of new quotes and such. Systems failing, master. Ah, love his voice. I really, really wish that I could repeat that voice, but I can't. I'm not good enough at mimesis yet. Anyways, I think that's where I'll end this video. Sorry that it wasn't longer. Sorry that it didn't have me talking about a game in a repairing or a remaking light kind of thing. I'll try and do that for most of this series, but I might try just a couple of different ones with different formats and stuff, just to see how it goes, see where I can take this series. Anyways, that was Bjuakerdauken Rambles, and I'll see you in the next video. That's what Markiplier says. Okay, let me try again. Remember to have fun. Dang it, that is a shadow. No, that's wrong. That's wrong. Sorry. I really wanted to say beauty pad there for a second. I don't know why. Alright, well, have a good day. If you liked this, leave a comment. Tell me what you liked about it. If you thought there were things that could be improved, write down in the description different comments and constructive criticisms. And I hope you have a good day. Bye.